Hey y'all, in today's video, we're gonna talk about 7 photography tips that every beginner photographer needs to know. So jumping right in is tip number 1 is to use the gear that you already have. Now this could be your cell phone, it could be a family camera, it could be whatever you already have. You're interested in taking pictures, what do you already have in your house? I encourage you to really practice with what you already have, because the thing with gear is if you're new to photography, you can find yourself really going down a rabbit hole of research of, should I be using a Sony? Should I be using a Canon? Should I be using you name it, Nikon, all of the brands, mirrorless, DSLR, what do I do? And what you'll find yourself doing is making the process of becoming a creative not fun anymore. You will actually find yourself being more logical and analytical when photography is all about being creative and having fun. So think about old vintage photos, the black and white ones, the sepia ones from way back in the day. Those pictures were not captured on mirrorless, they were not captured on DSLR, they were captured so long ago. And the technology wasn't even there at the time to what we have today with our iPhones, right? It just didn't even match. However, those pictures are now in coffee table books, they're in museums. Why? Because of the photographer behind that gear. It's all about you. You are the creator of the image. So if you are creative, if you have the eye, if you have really figured out your style, no matter what gear you have, the image can't help but be beautiful and can't help but be unique because of who you are as the creator. So for the past couple of years, I have had the privilege of hosting meetups and photography workshops for other photographers to meet and practice with other photographers, right? And what I have found is that no matter what environment is set up, whether we're outside, in a studio, you name it, even if the model's the same, the environment is the same, the images are never the same. And it's because each artist is different from the next. So regardless if you're taking pictures outside, like I mentioned, in the studio, it doesn't matter. Your eye is what is beautiful. And it's all about being able to capture your subject, the environment, and how you as the creator can translate that from your perspective. A quick fun testimonial that I want to share with you. When I first got started out in photography about 6 years ago, I literally purchased a T2i Canon Rebel, knew nothing about photography, and from me just practicing with that one camera, even using a kit lens, I used the kit lens for a good 3 years before I upgraded to a 50mm. Those images that I captured with the kit lens and T2i Rebel Canon were published. I had a few of the images that I captured published in magazines. So it really isn't about the gear, it is about what are you able to create. And I hope that this story inspires you, because no matter your journey, no matter what gear you have the potential of really making a huge splash because of you, your perspective, and what you have to offer from an artistic standpoint. So don't get caught up. Remember, you are gifted. You have something inside of you that is lit up. That's why you're watching this video. And don't let the analytical side and all the lies of gear this, gear that, the best this, the best that, stop you. Shoot with what you have and practice and see what comes out of it. One quick little tip to close it out is that if you happen to, let's say, master your gear that you already have and you're like, man, I just really want to elevate though, I want to experience other gear, before you go out and spend all of the money, I encourage you to rent. There are tons of rental places, I'm sure, in your city, across the world. So do a quick Google search and see what rental places are in your area. Pop on in, get whatever gear you want to try out, and see if that's something that maybe you would like to commit to in the long run. All right, y'all, so tip number 2 is to simplify your photo. So when you first get started out in photography, it's so easy to just be a maximalist. You want to throw everything in the frame. You want flowers, you want gowns, you want all the things. If you want to do a flat lay image or shoot product photography, you're trying to just throw it all in there. But I encourage you to remove, create simple space, and practice that first, because sometimes when we cloud an image and fill it with a bunch of things, it's very difficult for the eye to know where to focus. So I encourage you to keep it simple, okay? That's a phrase that is used in journalism, KISS, keep it simple, silly. So always remember when you're taking pictures, how can I simplify this? How can I make this super minimal to where whatever the subject is, whether it's a product, a person, or nature, can really pop, and I'm not creating a distraction from the thing that I want to stand out. So tip number 3 is to move around and move your body. So whether you're using a zoom lens or a prime lens, this still applies. I'm personally someone who loves prime lenses. These are lenses that do not allow you to zoom in and out. But the reason why I say to move your body is because when we stand still, we're missing so many other vantage points that could be the shot. So whether you're shooting a person, like I said, or a product, think about after you take the photo, what else is here? Do I need to move to the right? Do I need to move to the left? Should I shoot from above? You know what I mean? Should I shoot from below? Should I shoot from this angle, from that angle? Do I need a step stool? How can I really capture this? Does it need to be a wide shot? Do I need to get in super close to where I can get those beautiful detail shots? Because that is how you can really create variety, and you'll never know what is the image that just makes your heart jump and is the one that is just lighting you up. So don't just take a photo and move on. I encourage you to take the photo and see how you can take it again from the exact, like take it again from where you are, but how can you move around a little bit, right? So even right now, the camera is set on me this way, but what if I took it and I lifted it from above? That'd be totally different than if it was shooting from over here or over there or down below. Don't be afraid to move around and get variety. So tip number 4 is to find what you like. So when you first get started out with photography, or anything for that matter, it's so easy to look for validation from the experts, or look for validation from people that maybe are in your life that do the thing. So when I first got started out, I was always looking to other photographers. I would stalk them on Instagram. I would watch tons of videos on YouTube just to see, like, what are they doing? How can I imitate that, right? Like, how can I be as good as them in that way? And I encourage you to pause on that and really figure out, what is it that you like? What is it that works for you? For example, let's say you're someone who you just got started out in photography, and the person that you look to for inspiration, they're all about fashion photography. But let's say you start taking pictures and you realize, I don't really like fashion photography. I actually like taking pictures of nature. I love animals. I love landscape. Now, this is a great place to be and to not feel discouraged, right? What is it about the photographer that inspires you, that does the fashion photography, that you can use to inspire your work and not deter you from what you love, but just inspire it? So let's say that the fashion photographer that inspires you is really into moody tones. Let's say that the final picture is really dark, really moody, very ethereal, right? And so you can use that inspiration when you take pictures of landscape. So instead of taking the picture, going home and making the image extremely bright or extremely colorful, you can take the inspiration of the moodiness, of the dark tones, and bring that into your final edits. That way you are not compromising on what it is that you love, but you're just taking the inspiration, a piece of what they have, and adding it to what you are doing. Bottom line is, you are the expert. And as you learn and as you grow and as you cultivate your personal style, you will be able to take little pieces from what you have been inspired from over time and create something truly unique and special that actually will open the right doors for you. If you're someone who's obsessed with bright and airy and you just love a certain type of photography and you love shooting a certain type of style, that will open up the doors for amazing opportunities in the future for you, as well as community for you. So don't ever try to minimize what you love because maybe someone else that is an expert in the industry maybe inspires you, and so you completely go down that path and it opens up the wrong doors, right? So always take a pause and ask yourself, if you're inspired by another creator, what is it about them that inspires me, and how can I use that for what I love? And so take the meat, spit out the bones, as some would say. The next tip that I want to offer is to connect with people. Sometimes when we get started out in a new path, especially with photography, it's easy to kind of want to like hide until you become perfect. But I encourage you to find local meetups that you can go to. Even if you have to meet up with friends, ask them, hey, can I take your picture? Or hey, do you want to go with me to the park and I can practice and just take pictures of nature and really get out there and practice. I cannot stress enough how much community is so important in the stages of learning and growing. When you're in community, you're able to ask questions, you're able to find new friends, you're able to connect with people in your side of town that maybe you never would have met before. And even community translates on to the digital space as well. So if there are Facebook groups that you can join, or if you can connect with people through social media and ask them questions and maybe even link up, be smart about it, of course, but growing community can be such a beautiful and healing process while you're going down this road of exploration, of creativity, and figuring out who you are as a creative, while also making new best friends. As I've mentioned before, I've had the privilege of hosting a few meetups and photography workshops myself, but I will say when I first got started out, being able to attend those that I didn't host myself was so life-giving, and I was able to meet some of my best friends that I still have today. But on top of that, I was able to connect with models, with hairstylists, with makeup artists, and other people that later reached out to me and were like, we loved you, let's hang out. And later it has opened up doors for me to get job opportunities, for me to be a part of other pieces of content like podcasts and videos for those people, as well as just being able to create community, like I said. So be sure that you are actively looking for opportunities to meet other people that are in the same journey as you, because being able to connect with people that are like-minded is so powerful and so life-giving. All right, y'all, for the next tip, it's all about communicate, communicate, communicate. This one is not necessarily a tip for people who are just shooting landscape or, an animal and nature, but this is for my photographers that love the idea of shooting with people. Communicating is key. When you're getting started out with photography, it's so easy to feel like a fish out of water. You're holding your camera, you're trying to adjust your settings, the person's over there on the other side of the lens, and you're just trying to make sure everything looks good, right? You want the lighting to be right. You want that, it feels overwhelming, right? But imagine how it would feel for your subject. They're just standing there waiting for you to get your act together. And so something that has really helped me, and I still use it to this day, even if the lighting isn't working out, you're not sure what pose you want them to be in, you're not sure about certain things yet, it's okay. Communicate that to your subject. When you're starting out with photography, you obviously are in the mode of practicing, right? You want to practice taking the image, you want to practice getting the right lighting, but you also want to practice communicating and giving direction. This is why it's so important for you to practice and link up with community and link up with people that you trust, because then you'll feel a little bit more comfortable practicing giving direction. So the next time you are shooting a friend or a family member or someone that just maybe met up with you and you're excited to take pictures of, I encourage you that if it all feels a little awkward and weird and your lighting isn't right, the settings are off, you don't know what you want them to do, just be like, thank you so much for being here. Give me a second. I'm gonna adjust my lighting on the camera. I'm gonna adjust the settings on the camera. Or, I don't know if we should take that picture here. Give me a second. I'm just thinking, oh, maybe we'll go over there. Or maybe you could say, you look great. I love what you're doing. Just hold that for a second. Aren't you excited? Like, get them excited, don't be so like, looking at my camera, beep, boop, boop, not sure where to pose them. And in your brain, you're losing it and you're going crazy. But on the outside, you're just like this. And then your subject is standing over there like, am I doing something wrong? Am I doing something right? Maybe I should fix my hair. Are we good? They are also thinking crazy thoughts. So this is a wonderful opportunity for you to practice direction and practice communicating so that everybody feels comfortable. I think sometimes we want to put on a front that we have it all put together, right? But that's okay. You don't have to do that. In the beginning, just practice being calm, practice having fun. And even if you don't feel calm, trust me, when you put your subject at ease, it makes you feel at ease because they trust you, and it gives you a little bit of time to take a breath and figure out, where is the best lighting? What do I need my settings to be on? Where do I want them to stand? How should they pose? Did that work? What did Tina say? Should I move? Should I shoot from over there? Should I shoot far? Do I need to get up close? You feel me? So it's really all about communicating not only with yourself, but with your subject so that you both can work together. Anytime you take pictures of people, it is a collaborative effort. So they're not just this tree, okay? They have feelings, they have thoughts, just like you do. So be sure to communicate and offer a safe place where you can be vulnerable and they can be vulnerable as well. Because when you're able to communicate, my gosh, those pictures always turn out so incredibly chef's kiss. And the last tip is to just get started. Let me tell you something. You can sit here on YouTube and watch 10 more videos about photography and how to get good at it and what should I know as a new beginner photographer, or you could pick up your camera or your iPhone, go outside and take some pictures. Even if it's a picture of a leaf, even if it's a picture of your best friend, your sister, brother, parent, it does not matter. Watching videos about photography is not the same as actually taking pictures and creating photos, okay? And trust me, when I got started, I would just binge watch and like learn all the things, but you don't really learn until you start to do and you start to implement in real life. So it may feel a little scary and it may feel like, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready. You'll never be ready until you start. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Get out there, take pictures of whatever you can. And literally, if you make a mistake, it's not a mistake. It's just a learning lesson. Now you know, maybe it was too bright. Maybe you need to move your body. Maybe you need to shoot at a different time of day. Maybe you need to find a window. Maybe you need to find, who knows? You will know when you're out there because you are the artist. You are so creative. You are so talented. And the fact that you even watch this video shows that you have what it takes to get started and to create a beautiful, beautiful gallery of images that you love and that could even open up doors for amazing opportunities and places where you can meet people and grow your own community. But thank you so much for watching this video, y'all. This is all I have for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to watch other videos about photography, I will link them here. Thanks for watching.